Do you want to check the levels?
Yeah, let's stop that.
Let me hear that.
Ah!
Is that loud?
No.
Sit down, Joe. So I'm start recording. I'll tell
I just want to. Okay, I need to kind of face this way. So
What, like, Willem, I've never even discovered, like, what is the best distance?
There is no
from
best.
my
It
mouth?
depends how loud you're talking.
I guess I'm pretty loud, so that'd probably be alright.
Well, in like studio recording and that sort of stuff, distance essentially represents how far you are from the camera when it's with the microphone. But usually you want like I don't know, like a little less than a foot between you and it. But you want it kind of lower than your mouth as well. So you know the way you always get people with pop filters and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Pop filters don't actually do much. Like it's more effective to speak over the microphone so that your air doesn't blow directly into it. But yeah, there's loads of different ways. The thing they do in like podcasts where
oh shit, this is a good thing.
I feel like I'm Elvis when it's over me or something. Like you, Joe, you're our Elvis.
Am I?
Yeah, we know Adam Duke.
Oh yeah. I was always like,
The drunker he gets.
it really will.
Adam's a gift.
You were telling us time you, him, and Pierce were in town, and there was just like an open bottle of Coke on the ground in Dublin Street.
Willem, no, that was after the Tommy Cash gig. We were walking back to, Peter was there as well, we were walking back to Pierce's, and Adam Duke was fucked at this point, and I think he was like rejected by a girl and everything at the fucking Grand Social because he was just pissed because he was taking nearly empty pint glasses and then drinking the random ones. And then that's awful, Joe. And then the walk home, we stopped at an ATM and Adam Duke just picked up a Coke bottle, which was like and then started drinking. And we were like, Adam, stop. And he was like, Adam, you keep drinking, you're not that same mind. And Adam was like, there's definitely alcohol in this. That was so, and this is like my second time hanging out with Adam Duke.
I was supposed to get a drink with Adam Duke when I was in Toronto in Canada. It was also like I said, and then I was like, oh hey, yeah, we're gonna hang out, and he just didn't reply to me after that. just didn't like we talked
Adam's
about
in Cuba now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Havana. I talked about it from like a week beforehand, and then I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a drink, and then that day I was like, okay, yeah, what time do you want to meet up? And no response whatsoever. I'm not messaging him since. He hasn't messaged me.
Oh god. Fucking Adam Duke.
I think it was just because I was wearing a striped t-shirt.
The Elvis thing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you kind of used to have the L kind of, your hair was longer, I think.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if Adam ever met you when you had long hair.
Yeah,
that might have been the first time.
I think my hair was shaved at this point for Willem.
Shaved, yeah.
It definitely was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So it was just because you were wearing a striped shirt?
It's because there was a specific like Elvis performance.
Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah, Jailhouse Rock.
Yeah.
T-shirt. A striped t-shirt.
That's fucking
funny. So in this guy's theory, the incels are like the lumpen proletariat.
Whoa, don't come out of it now.
Sorry.
Don't come out of the gate so hot.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get black-pilled by this.
What's black-pilled?
Black-pilled is like...
That's the incels.
Is that not when you get date raped?
Black-pilled is when... It's like red-pilled, except black-pilled when you like... Instead of like... Red-pilled is like when you start... Well, red-pilled is when you start like admiring people like Milo, like fucking... like Mike Cernovich, all these fucking like chuds, Trump and stuff like that. Black pill is when you start admiring like school shooters, Elliot Rodger and stuff like that. Yeah, all those people. Yeah, it's like when you completely like embrace like a sort of nihilism or whatever. That like this is that like you go like full like edgy or whatever. And there are those, and so that's what apparently incels are also black pilled. I wasn't aware of this. That makes sense, I guess.
What are incels?
Involuntarily celibate.
It's a great.
Oh, it's a great. It's a great subreddit. Are incels? You fucking have to. So there's just normies. The normies are most people.
Okay.
Then there's the chads who are like the people who like they're like the alpha people. They like fuck women and shit like that.
I'm kind of familiar with chads.
Yeah. Then there's the incels who I've read.
We would all be chads, but like it's not like the kind of.
No, I'm voluntarily celibate because I'm not giving.
You're like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I'm not giving my essence to any woman. You are the fools who spill your essence. When maintaining one's essence is the key to power. But incels.
But and then because Joe's right, because normies is like the same as them, except they're just not like.
No, normies
woke
aren't.
as
Yeah,
them,
normies aren't woke. The incels are woke, and trans are like the oppressor, and women are like
commodities.
Basically, yeah.
Also, they put each other down. Like they post pictures of like models and be like, "You will never."
yeah.
Like male, like you will never be like this. You will never
I'll
be
check what the top.
desirable to women. They just say this to each other.
And there's a great one of like this thing, like no matter how buff you get, you'll still be ugly. And there's a picture of like two guys together. One guy is like a real handsome, muscly guy. The other guy has like a real ugly face, but he's still real muscly. Like they're just all about fucking shitting on each other as well.
It's like like. At least they shit on each other.
Or they have,
like keep it
they all think they're fucking losers.
Oh yeah. They're exactly where they all belong.
Yeah, pretty much.
I also enjoy the Reddit art community.
Reddit art? Why?
Just the like life drawings of video game characters and things that get like like more appreciated than a Picasso.
Yeah. They're actually
I drew Goku.
Yeah, it's like
look at this, like Mario on my motorcycle.
It's like Zelda with massive tits or something. It's just like 11,000 upvotes.
It's like this Witcher 3 character really inspired me.
It has anything Legend of Zelda based. It goes like the top of the front page.
I'll see what's on our art at the moment.
I remember the worst one was someone did a drawing of Goku's face and then put bananas. And they were like, wow, this is one of the most creative things I've seen. It's like 15,000 upvotes. And I was like, this is what a child would do.
Next, you should draw him posing with Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
That would be even funnier.
Let's say the modern Picasso would be like drawing all that shit now. But yeah, another thing on the incels and they always have is like they set up a fake Tinder account and then put all the pictures like model and everything, but the description is like I've molested a child.
and then women,
and then women are like I love a bad boy and stuff like that.
That's when they got really famous. It was like they set up one where it was this like supermodel and it was like I'm just a guy trying to like. I'm just a guy like starting a modeling career. I'm also like a convicted child.
I hate women and shit like that.
And they're like, oh, like he gets like 20 messages off like presumably like possibly like thousands of women who said no. 20 of them say yes and say like
that's our proof that like like the Chad will win or whatever. Our art is always like the top stuff. Like this is like all like the top posts and like art. It's always like drawings. Like,
a drawing of Robin Williams.
That's like it's the top.
Then again on Reddit, like anything with Robin Williams.
Or like Steve Buscemi or something. Like if it's like a good drawing of Steve Buscemi, it's like immediately top of like the front page. Yeah.
You could do a Robin Williams one on incels and it would probably be like the top of that month then. Do Robin Williams on a Tinder profile.
Yeah, Robin Williams was like, control decent superstructure.
You know, if you lock yourself in here, you can unplug the Wi-Fi and no one can get into you. Plug it back in.
What's the
Wi-Fi for the entire student center?
Well, for Belfield FM, so I'm sure the service is like at least one other office.
Yeah.
Like someone's definitely connected to that specific router, you know.
Oh, nice. That'd be a good prank. That'd be a good bit.
Yeah. Oh, except the knob on that door fell off. Someone broke that while I was here, actually.
What do you mean while you were here?
Like
During summer?
No, I was doing a show.
Oh,
it could have been me, actually.
You told us about that already, yeah.
Yeah, it could have been
presumably
you kicked it or something, or you? What happened?
There's two possible occasions. It was either one when I was on Pete and Barry's show and I was doing parkour in the room, which would have involved me flailing about. And then the first show that Niall and I did this year, back in September or October or whatever, we've like fought quite violently as a bit, which is unfortunate because it turned out I forgot to start recording the episode as well. So we missed that entire segment. So the 20 minutes that were recorded is like, it was so great. You should have been there.
This is actually a great r/art post as well. Seductive Girl by Joshua.
But that just looks like a photograph. Like,
So drawing.
The photo art shit is bullshit. Like,
well, I mean, photorealism was like a thing.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think it's bullshit.
Photorealism.
Yeah, it was a movement of art in, like, was it the 70s or the 80s, where essentially artists would project photographs onto a screen and then just paint over it, so it looks pretty much perfect. But it's a continuation of pop art, so it's not that it looks realistic, but it's supposed to comment about the relationship between traditional art and
there's also those in the Hugh Lane as well, but I don't think that really fucking counts as...
That's just a jerk off.
Yeah, like that girl originally was probably like CGI'd as well.
They just, they were like, oh, this photo's so great. I'm not very good at Photoshop, but I'd like her breasts to be larger. So I think it's Would it be men's rights, like radio, as if radio was a right?
No, men's rights radio. It's like we'll have like a circle insignia or something. It'll say like men's rights radio and have our two faces on it.
Yeah, like
that, or like a raised fist.
Two-man protest.
That'll be men's rights radio, and we'll talk about how sometimes men should get paid more because they do, they're stronger, so they do more work. And I would say,
and if also because women have children and therefore
maternity leave, that's bullshit. It's prioritizes women. We talk about like the tyranny.
Where the fuck is my maternity leave?
Exactly, the tyranny of family court.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Men also run the risk of premature ejaculation anytime.
Very good. So you'd be perfect. You'd be a perfect guest for the show.
Yeah.
Men's Rights Radio.
I mean, it's certainly prevented me from working.
Women live longer as well.
There bullshit.
How about you want rights, like fucking you have loads of years after we all die for them.
Exactly,
Also, men die at work.
Yeah.
There you go.
Women get sexy.
War.
War. Yeah.
War. That are like women. It's like,
how
many men died in wars?
And you see women do that. I've seen like women do that. Someone was like, actually, like men died in wars and shit like that. So maybe it's like.
Also, women don't want to be in the draft.
But yeah.
How dare they?
Yeah, too right. I already signed myself up.
Hello and welcome to The Meaning of Life. This is of course the Comedy Philosophy Show, except this time we're doing a special recording for the Freshers tent for next year. We're starting next season. So this is like a mid-season episode. So like
it's
Christmas.
It's like a Christmas special.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas special.
It's a preschool special.
It's a preschool special. Yeah, that's actually perfect.
We uploaded our Christmas special actually in like March or something like that. Yeah, it was gone for ages because that was actually the biggest dispute we had.
We nearly
because we had this original system that one person would host it and the other would edit it. But what happened was we started getting a mix up because we weren't in one week and stuff like that, and then what ended up was it was nearly gone, and we were both like, you need to go in and get that now. No, you need to go. And we both, neither of us wanted to go into UCD, so we were like,
we thought we thought we were going to lose the show because we thought like every file on the system got deleted after 15 days or something.
Oh,
or like a month or something, but that's actually just the.
Or we even thought like at the end of the year they might even clear the system.
So we ended up getting a big argument over it, and then I think I eventually messaged Barry or something. He's like, oh no, it's fine. Just get it.
No, I asked Barry like the welcome back time or something like that, and he said, yeah, you could just easily get it.
Anyway, well, it's a show, and today I've joined with me Pretty Dick Patrick, White Dick Willem, and Jelly Dick Joe.
Jelly Dick Joe.
And
how's it going, Joe?
Of course, I'm your host, Cute Dick Keane. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Thank you, Keane.
All right, so how we start? Ask how our days.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so we haven't really. So this is the first show we've done since UCD was out. So this is our first show to do over the summer. So how's your guys' summer been? Patrick, do you want to start?
My summer's been pretty good. I started working in Spa recently.
That's boring. Willem, how's your?
Hey, Keane, still talking to you, right?
All right.
So yeah, I started working at Spa. I hate all old men. It's a pretty local shop, so I only really get outflows now ones. Old men, they're all so cheeky to me. I don't know what it is.
Because they need to get some sort of social interaction.
I hate them so much.
All the
they're men going their own way.
They're men's rights guys. But so there's one fella who keeps coming in and expects me to remember his cigarette brand. Has that ever happened to any of you?
I mean, yeah, I worked in Super Valley for 5 years, and I was really good at cigarette brands. Although I was always really careful because I was afraid that maybe they'd quit, and because usually I'd get them ready if I saw them in the queue, and have it for them. But you can never like pre-guess a customer, because there was one guy that used to come in and buy like 700 milliliters of Paddy every time he was in the store.
Of what Paddy?
Of Paddy whiskey.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, I'm never gonna like prepare this for him because it's obviously going to be super mean if I've just made the assumption that he genuinely buys it every time. But other people that work behind the counter would be like, "Oh, you want another Paddy?" You know, people can be sensitive about that. But
well, no, because my coworkers, like one fella came in, he was like, "Oh, I'll go for a half bottle of Smirnoff," and the guy looked at him like, "Only half? What? What are you talking?" Like they wanted him to buy like the full one, but then that said, I feel really bad then a lot of the time because this woman came in last week and her teeth were like black. She smelled like she was smoking a cigarette right in front of me, and she just, for her voice was like, and then she went, "Can I have 60 silk cuts please, extra long?" And then I had to go to the cigarette box, get all of this stuff, which is like ruining her health and probably her life, and giving it to her then. Like, I'm now the supplier.
Yeah, it's like you're selling heroin to her,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's what's up with my summer.
Oh, nice, very nice. What about you, Willem? What have you been up to?
It's kind of warm, you know, so couldn't relate. It was warm this summer.
Yeah.
It's difficult to operate properly.
It can be hard sometimes.
I went to Cork and Tralee, and they were all right. Cork's nice. Have you ever been, Cian?
I think I went once when I was like 8 or something.
It's a good place. You should revisit it.
Yeah.
Republic
of Cork.
Yeah, Republic of Cork.
The true capital of the country.
Yeah, I never realized how like interesting it was. So I was down there, and
how big is it?
Small.
Because like
that's 500,000 people.
Yeah, because everybody says it's a city, and people were saying that Galway was a city, but when we went there, I was like, this is tiny.
Yeah, well, because we have to lower our standards for city pretty drastically, because otherwise it's just Dublin and Cork and Belfast if you want to include that.
Cool thing I thought about Galway though is that even though it was like a small little place, all the bars and stuff were like packed and everything there.
It's a lack of options.
It's a massive tourist town.
Yeah, and there was like loads of bars. They were all packed. I was like, Dublin, like a lot of them are usually empty now as well. So
and also they probably like Dublin has a lot of really grim bars. I feel like when you get out in the country, a lot of them like they kind of.
People are still going to the old kind of pubs there, and stuff
people
like
put
that.
like effort into making their
now
pubs
it's like
nice.
it's only criminals and like old alcoholics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
how was your summer, Joe?
It was good. Yeah, traversed Europe for a bit.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
I went to London and Paris on a nice capitalist extravaganza.
Very nice.
Yeah,
and
champagne socialist Joe.
Yeah, there we go.
You don't call him Jelly Dick Joe for nothing.
I thought it was because he has chronic erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. No, I
hello,
don't.
Freshers tent.
Hey, that's right. Yeah.
For the ladies out there.
For all you freshers out there.
Yeah.
All right, so this bonus show is going to be.
It's going to be it's on a regular show. We don't have a topic this week.
It's a hot takes show.
Yeah.
So what happens is I wrote down 4 topics on little pieces of paper and scrumpled them up so we don't know which are which, and I'm going to give the topics out, and when somebody gets their random topic, they're going to have to give their hot take on it.
Yeah.
Nuclear take.
Their hottest take, yeah. So their most radical opinion on this thing. Unfounded. Like, it doesn't need to be well-founded. It doesn't need to be particularly smart. It just needs to be hot.
Correct and effective.
Yeah.
Well, actually has to be all those things.
It also has to be those things, yeah.
So should we start with a first hot take then?
Just give everybody one of those pieces of paper.
No, I think we should go one by one.
One by one? Okay.
Yeah. All right, so first is Joe, so I'll let Joe.
Oh, you're going for Joe.
Okay. It's a lot of pressure off me.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. I was like, all right,
Joe.
Willem is beside Patrick.
No, we're going to... Oh, yeah, do right, actually.
No, fuck it. Joe.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have to go. You can give it to Willem if you want now.
No.
What is it, Joe?
Oh, yeah, it's pegging.
Yay!
Well, I do feel like I've gotten the worst one. That's just off the bat.
No, there's probably worse ones in there.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Well, it depends on your views and opinions. So so pegging for anybody unaware is well, what is pegging, Joe? For this to start off at all.
So, I think it can be done by a man or a woman, but it's usually a woman to a man.
What do you mean it can be done by a man? What?
I would assume if a man is like a micro penis. That is, I believe, is a community.
Actually, I saw
because it's part of humiliation. It's like, oh, like I could be this man with a giant penis,
right?
But instead,
I
I'm
have
this
a
inadequate man with a micro penis. That's how they view themselves.
Yeah.
From
That was
my
a pretty
knowledge
good
of the micro penis humiliation community.
So, man or a woman can do. We never actually described what it was, did we?
I'm asking Joe for this.
Yeah, I actually don't know what pegging is.
You don't know what pegging is?
So
what a liar! What a fucking.
I thought it was just like another word for like a specific kind of banging involving a man on the
on the receiving end.
But
it's when you take what is usually exceptionally large dildo.
Strap on specifically.
Yeah, strap on. Actually, yeah, good point. And a man bends over and presents their anus and then hopefully lubricated strap on is
okay.
But not only that, but it's
Willem only got it.
It's kind of
lubricated. I know where this is going.
It's kind of, and then it's it's not just, it's kind of like repeat. It's like banging, like it's repeated.
So you do the
penetration.
sexual act. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of people, you go in and you go out and that's it. But this is supposed to be like a really, because it's like a full 15 minute.
15 minutes.
Exactly.
15, 20. Well, like a full.
Okay,
thing
that's kind of
point where some people often find that they have like bowel issues and things afterwards. But I believe that is often the point of it, is so that.
Okay, because what you're saying about like the micro penis thing kind of put me off, because I assumed, it's really small, and obviously women don't always have penises. So I thought maybe they were behind the guy and like humping him kind of in a dry hump kind of way. When you said I could have this massive penis, it's kind of like I could be fucking you right now.
You mean like
you could be humiliated, man, right there.
Yeah, but they
if I had
like
a
threatening kind of thing.
Yeah, but they actually do have a surrogate dick that they use.
That's real, like,
well, that's a little bit less
physiological
exciting, but maybe that's another thing. Maybe that's another one of the hot takes. So I'm sorry.
Wait for your one, Will.
All right, so Joe, we need to get your basically your opinion, your idea, like your hot take on
your
this
hot
one.
take.
I don't know if there's that many. Is there there's not much of a hot take now.
I mean, it's a pretty hot take itself already.
Yeah, I haven't experienced it, but
what's your hot take?
I cannot.
You don't need to experience
That's not the point.
it.
A hot take is.
I haven't experienced Charlottesville. I could have a hot take on.
I know, but
is a hot take.
It wouldn't be a pleasant thing to experience.
But Joe,
that's your hot take.
You're missing. I mean, with pegging, if you wanted a hot take on that, you could just set the strap on fire.
Hey, very nice.
Yeah,
taking it literally.
But I feel like there's only two opinions one can have on it, and one of them would be a blatant lie, and the other one is in fact a cold take.
That's fair. I don't know. I feel like somebody could have more though.
I felt like if I could anybody who enjoys pegging is like a degenerate.
Or
civilization
another hot take
destroyer.
could be the only proper way to have sex is through pegging. And that would be an extremely hot take.
That would be.
Okay, well,
the
people who enjoy pegging are degenerate losers. That's my hot take.
That's what we're looking for, man.
That's what we're looking for. Yeah, that's the perfect response right there. I feel like the levels are a bit high.
They probably. I haven't really been paying attention. I was adjusting them a little bit.
It's hot.
Well, you're the only one with earphones. That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think it's actually okay at the moment. But if it starts going over, I'll lower it.
Well, coffee.
Well, we can look at the green bar is the easiest thing.
The green bar in here.
We are it's hot. One would get heated during the delivery of
that would be, if somebody liked it, then I guess you would even call that a hot take in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's hot
and they're taking it.
Oh,
very good, very good.
That could have been your hot take of pegging. You could have gotten pegged right here.
We're being very, very Hegelian here. We're turning it on its head.
I think I tried to make that joke originally. Yeah, and then I tried to make it even more exaggerated by doing the setting on fire thing.
Because you would be.
I don't have the brevity. Yeah.
I could have another hot take, and I assume Kean enjoys pegging.
Why do you? Whoa,
well, we've previously established I'm voluntarily celibate, so I would never do such a thing.
Well, you could.
But does it really count?
Yeah, it does.
That's true if I'm not spilling my vital essence.
Yeah, if you're just kind of. I suppose it'd just be psychological pleasure for like there'd be no physical pleasure. Just psychological
it does
for the other person.
You get you mean the person doing the pegging?
If you were with a dom woman and she would be like, I want to see you humiliated, you'd be like, okay, take me, mistress.
Well, do those strap-ons have are they like?
You can get
double. Yeah.
Yeah,
you say you didn't know what pegging was.
Yeah, but I mean, I've looked into these things. Christmas gifts for family and friends, that sort of thing.
You can probably get one that it has like a vibrator that stimulates you or something like that.
Well, and obviously you've established you can probably get
one
hollow
with multiple endings.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. So you can peg multiple people at once.
Yeah, if it's your job, you might want to
get
it
knee
done
pads
quickly.
as well.
Okay, you need knee pads. Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, that's not bad. I don't think that wasn't too bad. I think, Joe, you did an alright idea.
Yeah, Joe, it was pretty, it's what a hot take kind of,
we got there
need,
in the end.
It's subjective, it's coming
it's
from his heart.
From the heart, unfounded and usually quite offensive,
what was it again, Joe? That only degenerates?
Only degenerate losers
enjoy
that.
And then you said, I presume you enjoy it.
The natural link.
Perfect hot take. I can see that in a tweet.
Yeah, I'm sure we can coach you on that. Okay,
all right.
So who do you want to give it next?
Well, we said we're gonna do the guest. I accidentally went Joe. I apologize for that, Joe. I apologize. Actually, it wasn't intentional.
No, we don't.
They're all four of them are pegging.
we don't apologize on this show anyway. Fucking this is
Don't curse me. We're on the freshers tent.
Fuck freshers.
Oh yeah, that is a thing, but.
I also feel like we're
you can
we can bleep it out later. We can bleep it.
Pegging.
That's okay.
No, UCD is a sexually liberated. Yeah, UCD is a sexually liberated society.
Oh, and also if we include like a consent class in this.
Oh yeah.
Never do pegging without consent.
There you go.
Yeah.
From both parties.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Willem, you wanna?
Okay.
Willem's opening his hot take topic there.
Oh, this is kind of a long one.
Is it? What is it?
Oh, do all lives matter?
Well, Willem, do all lives matter? Do you think all lives matter?
What is all? All people,
all lives.
Beings.
Do you think all lives matter?
Do you think do you hashtag all lives matter, or do you think all lives actually matter?
Well, I mean, there are lives that have already ended. Do they still matter?
Let's exclude them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh, do all lives matter? Ooh, this is kind of like a phrasing thing because
what you think?
Do
all lives matter?
There's certain there's certain lives that everyone's currently saying matter. And I feel like when you say all lives matter, you might be hot takes, right? Yeah, I mean most lives matter.
Yeah, but. Come on, this is a hot take show after all, so
okay.
Waiting for the money shot.
Did you say most lives matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which don't. I love this.
If you would, I can quote Lil Wayne.
Okay, well,
Lil Wayne had a hot take on this.
On lives mattering.
All right, let's hear Lil Wayne's first before Willem answers.
It was, I believe, he was asked this in an interview, and he says. It was asked about Black Lives Matter, and then someone said something about All Lives Matter, and he said, he was like, I don't feel connected to any of those issues. My life matters to my bitches. And then I believe he took his blood gang bandana out and said, I'm going to be my gangbanger lives matter or something like that. Yeah. And so, there are some people believe these kind of
universally all lives matter, but culturally, I mean, come on,
you need to expand on this. What do you mean by that?
I mean, if you look over in a place like Asia, they obviously still all hate each other a bit. So if you go up to a Chinaman and be like, the Japanese
Chinaman is already not okay.
No, hear him out. Okay?
The Japanese lives matter, and they'll, they probably still don't like the Japanese because they invaded for a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're kind of mean.
Massacres in World
then if
War
you ask,
II.
It's where anime started.
if you ask someone in California, do Japanese lives matter? They might be like, yeah, we put them in concentration camps.
Yeah.
So I guess
that was a long time ago.
Do you think Japanese lives matter, Willem?
Well, this used to come from you. Now you can't talk about the.
Have you ever? Do you guys know any Japanese people? Have you ever looked into their eyes and seen a soul?
Yeah, I went to Japan.
You went to Japan?
Did you?
I thought you were in Europe.
In May of 2014.
How was that?
It was good. They seemed to care about their lives.
Okay, that's nice.
Well, actually, no.
Yeah,
A lot of them didn't, actually. It was quite sad. There were a lot of, like, sad kind of... They're called salarymen. And they were, like, visibly depressed a lot of the time.
Yeah, because if you don't get to a certain level by a certain age, you pretty much won't ever... Okay, anyway. Did Japanese lives matter? You know, around 70 years ago, people... weren't sure of that question, so they thought they'd put it to the test, and they found out maybe Japanese lives matter. But
okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do a hot take on this one. I'm a little bit.
Oh, you're too much of a coward. You won't do it.
Willem, come on. It's a station manager. He's too political now.
I mean, there's
say the wrong
there's no way I can like do a good hot take on this. What am I gonna say? Like, nuke 'em all. No.
There we go, nuke 'em all. That's Willem McCartney.
I do
that's
feel like
Joe's pagan one as well.
I do feel like the hot takes you've asked us to give are just like topics, and then if we were to deliver a hot take, it has to be a blatant lie. It's like, no, I believe like. I am a white supremacist, and so I don't believe all lives matter. No, we aren't.
I mean, there's a difference between denying someone access to another sexual activity and then starting an all-out race war.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for race wars. We're
keener acceleration.
I mean, in Japan, I think they believe like white. Like when I was there, it was quite disturbing. They seem to believe white lives matter more than their own. They very much it's quite shocking. They
who protects them? America.
Yeah, but they even all the models, the posters, it's all white people.
Yeah.
And there's no they kind of look down upon themselves.
But isn't Japan wildly xenophobic as well?
Is it?
I don't think.
Yeah, it's apparently it's very hard to get
Oh yeah. There's a YouTube channel. I remember this guy who went to live in Japan and married Japanese girl, and all of his videos. He's just really sad all the time, talking about how everybody's kind of racist to him. He says.
Yeah.
They were all very nice to me.
That's good.
Maybe he's just a loser.
Well, actually, when I was a cute young 15 or 16-year-old.
A cute boy.
Yeah, and
where's the story going on?
I think I was touring a temple in Kyoto, and because this was when One Direction were at their height.
Okay, you went over to Kyoto for
one day. You were in One Direction.
They were. There was these group of Japanese school children were there who were probably about 14, maybe a year younger than I was, and they were like, oh, where are you from? And I was like, Ireland. They're like, oh, Niall Horan, and then they start going, hot boy.
That kind of reminds me.
I felt quite welcome as a result, and they asked to take pictures.
Nice.
That reminds me of when I was in New York when I was around 13 or I think I was 13 at the time. And I met up with a friend of mine that lives there, and his high school friend or middle school, whatever. I don't understand how that stuff works.
Weird, yeah.
His dad, and we went to see 2012, but we went to a cinema in Brooklyn.
Great movie.
And being in New York generally was the first time I was ever in a place, because I grew up in Ireland, that sort of stuff. That I was in a population that was predominantly people of color.
Yeah.
So I was a little nervous going into the cinema, being the white boy sitting at the back. So I thought the easiest way to blend in and make myself feel safe would be to call all the people of Oriental descent in the film Jackie Chan. So I thought if I could prove to all these Brooklynites that I in fact hated Asian people, they might think this guy's already racist enough. He can't hate black people as well.
You can only have one hatred at a time.
Yeah.
In New York, though,
I can see the logic.
often idolize Asian culture, like Jackie Chan stuff.
Yeah, people fucking love Jackie Chan. So but what happened? What was the response?
Chinese people.
Well, I didn't know that.
Jackie
People
Chan.
just want to enjoy the movie.
Well, because like
they told you to shut up.
Yeah.
in
My friends thought it was funny.
in New York, all the hip hop guys love the Chinese Wu-Tang Shaolin things. I would assume they wouldn't take too kindly to dissing of their brethren, their kind of spiritual brethren.
Yeah, and Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's like a massive supporter of China. Like he's a big China guy of the Communist Party of China.
Really? Yeah, there's a video on YouTube of him talking about like how he's like a big star. He's literally talking about himself, how he's a huge star of Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is a city and everything like that. Jackie Chan's a fucking head case.
Apparently his son got caught in like drug charges, and like he said like basically like he deserves to go to prison forever, and like disowned him or something like that. Good old Jackie Chan.
Oh, you got a little bit of Jackie. So I guess we're...
Yeah, I guess that's it. Well, so what's your take is nuke the Japs?
Chinese.
The Chinese.
It depends, you know. I'd
You're both sidesing it.
I mean, the Japs have been nuked before. We know it works, so might as well start there.
It's a horrific thing to say.
Doesn't work because they're
still alive. Yeah, we didn't try hard enough.
Jesus Christ. Personally, one I find it horrific, and
you both of you guys are absolute degenerates. All right, Cian, you're one there now.
Nice. This is 2 left. Oh, okay.
It's gonna be like our plums, the best fruit.
yeah.
Or is it gonna be like? Yeah, it's gonna be like some kind of very like easy politically correct
Patrick,
opinion.
why is your fucking hand? Why are your hands so cold?
Cold.
Yeah, they're extremely cold. So warm in here.
I may have
Bad
turned down the air
circulation,
conditioning.
man.
I'm still not sure whether it goes up or down.
I thought it was cold in here.
plus
That's
or
why I'm wearing
minus
2
does.
t-shirts.
Yeah.
And a hat.
And a hat,
I can't
yeah.
open this fucking thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, fuck yeah.
What is it?
Solution for the Syrian conflict. Oh, okay, this is a good one. Okay, so Syria, it's in a bit of a trouble recently. So some multiple different factions vying for control.
Yeah, pretty fucked up situation over there, Cian. So what's your solution for it now, Cian?
Give Assad the entire Middle East.
Yeah?
He should take over all of them.
Yeah.
Democratically elected in 2014. Is
Unanimous landslide.
Unanimous
Whoa,
landslide.
not many people get that.
Exactly. He is anti-imperialist.
Yeah.
Against so as
His father was a true patriot.
Yeah, so as a good communist, go against the capitalist imperialist pig dogs of America. Assad is anti-imperialist. Forget about support from Russia. That doesn't matter. Russia's also anti-imperialist because they're against the United States.
Yeah, I heard in Aleppo there was this big banner set up of Putin shaking hands with Assad.
Yeah,
and it said like I don't even know, but it was like set up by the Russians or something like
that.
that.
But they're Russians.
Weird as hell.
Russia's anti-imperialist because they're against the US.
Yeah.
And Assad's done Assad is the rightful ruler of Syria and the rightful ruler of the Arabs. So I think you should get the rest of them.
Well, you'd also inadvertently solve the Israel-Palestine conflict.
Yeah, there you go.
Well.
Get 2 birds stoned at once.
And to simplify it even further, the reason Israel's killing so many people is because they're jealous. There's like 17 Islamic nations in the world, but there's only 1 Jewish nation. If you unite all those Islamic nations as one under Assad, then Israel won't be jealous and they'll stop killing people.
And it'll crush America. Fuck America.
Yeah, American pig dogs are down. And then by Allah, we'll all be rejoiced under one God.
I think it's quite a deeply naive opinion to have that there's only 1 Jewish nation, as we all know.
I think you'll see that every nation.
No, there is only one. There is only
controlled by the
No,
Jews.
actually incorrect. There is only 1 Jewish nation, but it's a world nation, and it's every country in the world controlled by the 1 Jewish state.
The moon.
Sarah.
the moon imperialist.
Yeah.
The lunar imperialist.
So that's your hot take.
Yeah, Assad should have it all. I don't think he's gotten enough. He's done too good a job and he hasn't been rewarded for it.
Where would China not playing that then?
China will help him out. China's also anti-imperialist, obviously.
I don't know, man. I think I'm with Kissinger, I think there needs to be a balance for it. I think we should just nuke all of that now.
You're the Sam Harris. You're from the Sam Harris opinion.
Yeah, like what are they doing? Like the Americans just like invading it? Like that ain't gonna go anywhere.
And
you want to solve it fast? Nuke the place.
Yeah.
Also,
No,
I believe there's a BBC study that says like it's like 97% of Islamic people worldwide want to stone women just for fun.
Oh wow! Just for what? For what?
For fun.
For fun? Oh my god! Christ!
So,
I really,
if that tells you something, and the 3% are kind of more in the grey area.
Yeah.
Sure.
No countries around it that really matter except for Israel. Israel. Well. You have to, account for them and then just, target
maybe
your nukes in the right places.
Super nuke bomb Western Iraq, and then you'll get Iran, Jordan, probably most of the Arabian Peninsula.
You guys have been fucking convinced by the Jewish conspiracy. This is fucking bullshit.
What, you think?
Yeah, no way. Assad, once he unites the Middle East, you'll have a proper anti-imperialist coalition that can finally bring us to the.
Oh, hot tip, all you freshers out there! Avoid the Jewish conspiracy, guys. Oh god, I really hope we're not beside societies that actually care about this stuff. We're probably we're very close to Amnesty.
Yeah, next to Amnesty, then the Japanese Society will be to our right.
Oh god. What are your opinions on this, drum sock?
The International Globalist Jewish Society will be right across from us.
Oh god.
All right, so that's hot take. So just one.
Well, I can let you know we won't be beside Dansock because I requested that specifically.
Why don't you want to be next to Dansock?
Because they also play music. So if you'd like to say anything unfortunate about dancing,
fuck dancing.
I invite that.
Dancing's bullshit. Anybody who's into dancing is stupid.
I think I'm thinking of quitting Belfield FM and joining Dansock. Actually,
never mind then. I like dancing.
Yeah, that's what an idiot would say.
Hey, got him.
All right, so will I go for mine?
Yeah, it's the last. I can't remember what the last one is.
Oh, it's libertarianism.
Oh, okay. So that's your take on libertarianism. I think it's the one where you can get a hot take that's actually good. Like it's actually the right opinion.
Great, I want to watch child porn all day.
So you're pro-libertarian.
Perfect for me. That's actually what I think a lot of libertarians might be. Like people who are just scrolling the internet happened upon child porn at one point and were like, oh shit, I'm attracted to this. And then they were like, well, then again, why shouldn't I be allowed to watch child porn? These kids are consenting to it.
Yeah, what if the child consents?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you think that all libertarianism is ultimately rooted in
child porn?
Pedophilia.
Pedophilia. That's in my opinion. 100%.
Guys, what do you think? What do you think of that opinion?
It's so... It's the easiest thing to make fun of because you can misinterpret it so easily. Yeah. Like the media's always like, hey, you think the Republicans are bad? Look, the libertarians. They want it to be legal for kids to buy drugs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If the kid doesn't like the child doing child porn, give them a bit of heroin. They'll be happy. They'll be happy little camper then.
Yeah, so the libertarians are always talking about like the American brand of libertarian, which is basically what libertarian...
Don't tread on me.
Yeah, don't tread on me. What if the child consents? But the 2006 president of the Libertarian Party did argue heavily for legalization of child pornography. It was like mid 2000s Libertarian president.
Just supports my point.
All politics is sexual pathology, and the libertarian sexual pathology is that they want to freely view.
Well, all the Tories in Britain, all those chancellors were all child.
Yeah, but they kept that fits in with conservatism.
Yeah, they're all child molesters.
They kept on the down low.
So why the hell wouldn't libertarianism be all about child porn and pedophilia?
Yeah, but that fits in with conservatism because they kept it on the conservatives all have a wife, respect your wife and all that, and do all that shady shit, but keep it.
I feel like libertarians are just like the Tories, but unashamed.
Yeah,
the Tories were at least the Tories are it's really bad that we're having sex with these children. We probably should keep it on the down low, and libertarians are like, so what?
Yeah.
Like some children,
do it. Who doesn't? All these prime ministers enjoyed it. So, that's my hot take on that.
Does everybody agree with that one? That's just what I'm saying. Yeah,
fair enough.
Grand.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There's probably some good libertarians.
Yeah, you think that some of the principles are alright?
Yeah.
Libertarian socialism is more the...
I fuck with libertarian socialism. I'm very pro of that.
But, because, libertarian... It's such a white boy opinion to have. It's like you're playing Monopoly and you get all the money and you're like, okay, let's play a fair game now.
Yeah. Well, don't offend White Willie Willem.
White Dick Willem.
White
Yeah. White Dick Willie.
I know. I feel like libertarianism is something that everyone kind of gets interested in at one stage in their life, and then realizes that there's just way better options in terms of that sort of.
Yeah, I was like centrist before I became like my political awakening. I watched like this like Danish political drama, and they were like the centrist party, and I was like, yeah, you know what, the centrism makes a lot of sense.
What's
like,
that one called again? I think I know that.
But the female prime minister.
Yeah,
but it's like Borgen
or some shit like that. Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, yeah, you know what, centrism makes. That was my like
I think I was the same.
The West Wing is a good like kind of left of center.
West Wing?
Yeah.
No, me and Patrick think West Wing's garbage.
We never.
No, I really
neither
like
of us
the
have
West
watched it.
Have you watched it?
No, I've seen like a couple of scenes.
We have a friend that was saying we should really watch it, and we're all saying no, it's a fucking lame show. Even though we never watched it.
It's a really, really good show.
I doubt that.
It is though.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
Yeah,
fucking.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Objectively. I'm gonna go Ayn Rand and everything now.
Okay, that's a hot take.
Hot takes are over then, I guess.
Okay,
so we had pagans for degenerates. Willem said
nuke the Japanese.
Nuke the Japanese.
Yeah.
Keen, you were with let us give a sad all of
the Middle
East, and I was libertarians are all pedophiles.
Yeah.
Great hot takes, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for participating.
What can you combine them all to learn?
Okay.
Let's see.
I feel like the libertarian and the pegging thing can because they're a kind of sexual deviancy.
But they kind of go against each other.
And also, the Japanese are infamous pedophiles.
Yeah. This is even.
I feel like sexual deviancy is kind of the core of a lot of our...
Who do you think beat... This is sort of like a West versus East thing. Who did the better pedophilia, the Japanese or the Greeks? Who are the better pedophiles?
Well, I feel like the Greeks were more epiphiles, whatever.
The
one's more for teenage boys.
That's the libertarian thing, I think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The
I don't know what it is. No way. The Greeks were like all about the 10-year-old boys, I think.
No, they were all about. They were about like 12-year-old boys. A little bit. A boy in the Iliad. There's a famous quote of Achilles taking a young boy who is beautiful on the cusp of puberty, but not quite there.
that golden hour.
Yeah, that's how it's described. It's like kind of golden era in a young boy's life.
I guess we could say we should give control of the Middle East to Assad if he makes a libertarian utopia where.
But pegging is not allowed. Well, that's what you can concede that to the radical Islamists. They can have the no sodomy thing.
Yeah,
but you can do the pro.
It's like what Kissinger was talking about. It's all connected,
Yeah.
Well, more like Assad can impose his kind of anti-sexual deviancy laws on the Middle East, and so him as obviously he's anti-libertarian, and so he will stop the paedophilia, the pegging. And you give Assad
I'm
a lot
in full
of nukes.
support of Assad
now. Iran has nukes. There's a lot of places in the Middle East where they're very armed. And Assad can all of a sudden just decide now that these Japanese, they're into their pedophiles, they're into their waifus.
They love the Americans as well. They love all that American shit.
They're capitalist imperialist pig dogs.
They're getting nuked.
Yeah.
Easy.
Who's the hot boys now? Yeah. Fucking Assad.
Yeah. No, it's them because they've been blasted by a nuclear.
Oh, God. Very, very good. All right, so guess we'll go on to the next segment.
Okay, the second half of the show, which is our classic bad philosophy segment. Previously, we've done Bill Nye.
Bill Nye.
I think it was going. We did Peter Singer saying it was okay to rape disabled people. That was a classic.
We did like a corporate philosophy.
Yeah, we did like this person like Laura or something who was taking her 10 answers to existentialism. Yeah. Which is pretty good.
That was great.
Yeah, she was like trying to start off.
She answered them all. It's like,
she
fucking
finished philosophy.
Yeah, why the fuck is philosophy a subject?
Kierkegaard, eat your heart out. So this is this bad philosophy segment's based off a Reddit post off the Reddit subreddit are Incels.
Do you want to give a quick description?
I'll give them their. I'll give their description of themselves.
Good idea.
Our Incels is a support group for people who lack romantic relationships and sex, but mostly geared towards those lacking a girlfriend or seeking marriage. And which sounds sport group, it's fine, whatever. But they come out with some pretty hot takes of their own, stuff like it's okay to rape women because they're being raped by society every day by not being allowed to have sex, and other such wonderful takes from them. They're also big into like the black pill thing, which is basically like society has like completely failed you, so you're like gone into like total nihilism, whatever. There was a Reddit post on it recently called "A Marxist Critique of the Sexual Economy," which is called as the immortal science of Marxism Rogerism, where basically Reddit user Commune Cell outlines his basically his idea of how Marxism can be applied to the incel community. This is going to be
so long. This is already so long already. It's only going to be you talking for like the next hour.
Basically, he writes, I got a little bit of a shorter version of it here. So, in the sexual economy, there are two distinct classes of men, Chads and everyone else. There's a group which keeps most women for itself, the Chad bourgeois, and a much larger group which, despite being responsible for maintaining global civilization with their labor so that Chad is free to take all his wants, is denied women. These are the sexual proletariat. The sexuality of women should be evenly spread among society, but it is not. Instead, it is commodified by sexual capitalism and given to Chad. The Chad bourgeoisie allows the sexual proletariat to have just as much pussy as they need to keep the human race alive through reproduction. But even here it is not fair. The proletariat gets Chad's leftovers. Only when the Chad bourgeois no longer wants a woman does she go to settle down, marry and reproduce with a non-Chad. Because that's a start. So what are you thinking of Marxism Rogerism so far?
I agree.
Okay.
No, this guy's an absolute insane person.
Well, he continues, when the sexual free market, where women can choose their partners without having to marry a non-Chad in the end, replaced the feudal system of arranged marriage. This is sexual capitalism. As sexual feudalism shifted to sexual capitalism, a contradiction was exposed. The contradiction of sexual capitalism is the existence of incels, and the conclusion of the capitalist stage of history must be the resolving of this contradiction. Due to how females are hardwired to be only attracted to Chads, incels always lose in the sexual free market. Many females would rather be single than marry an incel, and as a result, the incels become a class which does not even get married. In order to prevent the sexual proletariat from attaining class consciousness, the Chad bourgeois use culture to create a false consciousness for them to live instead. You can truly be a Chad, and it makes them believe that everyone can truly be a Chad if they work hard enough.
See, the one thing I noticed about this already is that this teenage boy, which I'm guessing he is, or in 20s,
could be 20s, yeah.
He is obviously just like a middle class idiot who is also like, one of these incel guys who wishes he was kind of working class, that he could be like, saying, because he is the bourgeoisie or like in some way a part of it. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm being oppressed by these guys right now.
Well, ultimately the incels want to show that what they're going through is the Grand Depression. But they don't. So they basically. So I'm trying to work out exactly how this fits into like the Marxist sort of class definition. So the Chad are the bourgeoisie, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Women are the means of production. Okay, but then the normies are the proletariat. So he splits into three types of normies. So he says a regular normie.
That makes...
Yeah, so a regular normie has their bribe a few times and doesn't bother to think about the realities of exploitation in the sexual economy. These normies can be blackpilled with evidence. Because that's a regular normie. Then there's the beta. A beta is a normie who is faced with the reality of sexual inequality. He may be an orbiter, hanging around women in the hope he'll get sex. He may be a nice guy who's nice to women for the same reason. He may be cooked. And then there's the white knight, the third normie. A white knight has come against a black pill before and it scared them. They swing the other way. They actively try and spread Chad's narrative and enforce it because they are trying to convince themselves. There's a great overlap between the white knights and betas, as the latter often exhibit white knight behavior. So these are the normies. This is the normies, the normie proletariat. So the incels and the black pill are the vanguard party of the lumpen proletariat. So they're the vanguard of the revolution. They'll cause a revolution because they're the ones being. But they're also sort of like the lumpen proletariat, who are like the non-revolutionary. They're either a revolutionary class, but they fit more into like the non-revolutionary. But that's what they are like. They are the people who will educate the normies and bring across their sexual revolution. So this closes off. Sexual inequality predates economic capitalism, feudalism, even primitive tribalism. Sexual inequality is the original and eternal form of hierarchy. It is the harbinger of all other inequalities in other areas. Thus, the revolutionary and immortal science of a Marxist Rogerism is born. We see the fundamental conflict is between the well-endowed Chad bourgeoisie and the sexual proletariat, and that all other conflicts ultimately drive from this great inequality. We see that the Chad bourgeois manipulates culture and society to further its narratives and worldview to maintain its power structure. Finally, we must conclude the only way forward for humanity is to dismantle the sexual system of sexual capitalism, so sex can be distributed fairly to all members of society. Incels of the world, rise up. You have nothing to lose but your chains.
Well,
and that's how communism
one kind of something actually interesting I realized there, and this time turned out exactly how I thought. Just reading out this insane theory. All of us kind of getting a bit kind of long. It's quite long-winded. We're all kind of getting a bit boring. But an interesting thing that I only realized near the end is that this is kind of funny because it fits in. Does anybody do any of you know Karl Popper?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, he was this sort of philosopher of science in the 20th century, and he was kind of big because he brought up, because science is it's really hard to make a philosophy around that actually, like, you know, proves that something's a science and something's not. So he kind of came about and said that for something to be a science, it has to be able to be proved wrong, and it also has to be the more flaws it has to be able to be proved wrong, the better it is, and the more of a science it is. But that's why he is also really anti communism as a science, or even as a social
Marxism
science.
as a science, yeah.
Or anything. He actually he despised that kind of a lot. It kind of came from him despising the Soviet Union, though. But it kind of fits in with this a little bit, because it's kind of like you can't really kind of go, you know.
You can't disprove the sexual
which is
economy.
kind of a big, and that even adds in with a lot of the free speech sort of people obsessing over things like logic and stuff like that. You're getting it all wrong. It's supposed to be like a tool to kind of work with, while they come out with these massive arguments, which are like, yeah, it's logical, I guess, but the premise is just fucking insane. Like,
the big thing that's missing here, and that the poster missed out on, is like the premise of reproductive inheritance. So does a Chad necessarily... Is his son going to be a Chad as well?
Okay. Are you born into the bourgeoisie?
Yeah.
I think they would argue that genetically, because you're going to be, you know, Chads are going to be reproducing with attractive women, then...
They generate more Chads.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, I quite like the way I saw a bit towards the end, they just throw in they're like the well-endowed Chad just to kind of really kind of push themselves down further.
Like, maybe that's
not,
why...
even if a woman were to like them, they could never satisfy a woman. Obviously, it is the Chads, the well-endowed Chads, who are only able
and maybe that's why everybody says now, you know, everybody's like, oh, each generation is more attractive. Incels like these just can't reproduce, and then
but the thing about that is it means as generations go on, this would eventually cease to exist as sexual hierarchy, because Chads would produce more Chads.
But so that's why
if incels aren't having children,
but that's why I don't think it is. You're not born into the bourgeoisie. I think it is
you become it.
Okay, well, here we go. So, for example, let's take the Chad bourgeois idea of confidence. Confidence is an intentionally vague idea to explain Chad's sexual success as anything besides winning the genetic lottery. It is said that anyone with confidence can also live like the Chad does. For the Chad bourgeoisie, this is true. All the Chad wants to do is willing to step outside or set an online dating profile, get all the pussy they want. But okay, however, for the rest of the world, this is not the case. By enforcing the idea of confidence instead of genetic luck, Chad yet again bribes the sexual proletariat, bribes them with hope. The idea of confidence being structural carry is a personal failure. So they are saying it's you get genetic. It's a genetic lottery, essentially.
Okay, so there's essentially some sort of like theoretical higher power, like some sort of astrological force that maintains a certain level of Chadness. Like there has to be a distinct ratio of Chad to non-Chad.
But it's decided by your genetics. So you look better or whatever, or something like that. They say he's saying that confidence is essentially ideology. There's no such thing as confidence. It's an ideology peddled to keep the sexual proletariat satisfied.
I love it, because you can't argue with it, but it's just wrong. Like,
so you guys don't exist. You know. So you're saying you're not convinced of Marxism. I don't even understand why is it called Rogerism. So rogering somebody is like anal sex or something. Isn't that what rogering someone is? Or is it just normal sex? Yeah.
I've never heard
that. That's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Let me look it up.
I look up Marxist Rogers.
Rogering.
I know, I think this is...
of a man have sexual intercourse with. Yeah, so
do you know, like, actually, this is on the side. Do you know the term, like, bugger? like, oh, you little bugger.
Yeah.
That comes from buggery, which is having anal sex with a man or an animal, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, so when you call it, having someone...
So when you call a kid, oh, you little bugger, that's what that means.
I actually same fucker, essentially.
Yeah. I actually remember worse, animals then.
When when I was in, like, second year, when all the child sex, the church sex things were coming out, and I was listening to RTE one day, and some lad calls up Joe Duffy, and just listening to it, and he starts talking about how a priest raped him, and he starts to cry, and he repeats, "They buggered me." They buggered me. And I was in the car with my dad. My dad wasn't really paying attention, and I was just sitting there like, okay. Which is really quite haunting. As I'm at, like, this man sounded like he was in his mid-70s-ish, like, weeping on the phone, just repeating.
And your dad's not even listening as well. He's just lost in thought, like, doesn't give a shit.
It was quite a, like, it's obviously it's a memory that stuck with me.
So, any last thoughts on
the sexual economy and the critiques of it?
What created the Chad?
Oh, that's a good question. So
human nature, I think.
Like women wanting.
What created women?
Oh yeah, he talked something. He talked something about the inherent something about women. Let me see if I can find this. Where is it? Yeah. He doesn't really. See, this is what he puts. And in this piece, he puts women as either both commodities or the means of production, basically.
People are going to be walking past.
But the women thing is weird because it's obviously from such like a straight cis male perspective. What if you're not actively seeking relations with women? What if you're looking for, with another...
Yeah, she's their gay incels. Yeah. Well, a lot of people...
Do Chads only hook up with other Chads?
Those kind of people...
I think
those kind of people are always I wish I was gay because then I could have sex with other people.
But no, women can't be Chads. So this is what this thing. Women aren't people in this piece. They're not bourgeois, they're not people of church.
And they can't even really be incels.
Well, let's not think about women. Let's imagine women don't exist in a situation where it's all guys and these guys are fucking all the time. Then how does this hierarchy work?
It only works as Marxism, as normal.
It only works when there's
Marxism only exists when there is basically when you can control a means of production, right? If there's no such thing as means of production, if everybody gets automatically gets resources evenly and everybody has a control over it, then Marxism doesn't exist because it factors on class.
Yeah, but obviously it's bullshit that this whole thing can be Marxism in the first place because we're
taking off.
Hey, multiple
too far. I think we've got some good ideas here. Maybe I don't agree with all of it, but I think that's true.
I just don't agree with the white knight theory.
Yeah, but when you take away the women, it doesn't become Marxism anymore because they are the tools.
Yeah,
they're the tools of oppression.
It's from their human nature that becomes. Like I was saying, it's the same thing with these kind of guys would be like, "Oh, I wish I was gay because then I could have loads of sex now because guys have sex with everything," kind of thing. It's that kind of logic.
That's a denial of the female sex drive. Like the women want to have sex just as much as men.
Yeah, well, they don't believe that.
Yeah,
these guys
they believe they're completely brainwashed.
They believe if that was true, I would have sex by it now instead of thinking that I'm just a piece of shit and nobody want to fuck me.
This guy has essentially red pilled to this like whole Chad theory that he's come up with, but has like this is what he's realized is a conspiracy against him rather than realizing what is necessarily the truth.
Yes.
So this is his own little like. Oh, this is the reason I'm not having sex because capitalism actually extends to the sexual world as well.
Yeah.
Which is like a thing on like a higher level, but certainly not in this kind of like perverted way.
There's like obviously like people like this. It's sort of like it is part of reality where like it's a serious alienating, jading thing of like the people who just can't really. Can't get laid, and like it's a sort of like it's an alien thing, and it's compacted by capitalism and by sort of ideology, by you're gonna have to do this stuff and stuff like that, and you feel super alienated by it. But he's basically he's taken all the wrong interpretations of that and then turned it into an immortal science.
I fucking love it.
It's very good. I think it's impressive.
Well, when this airs, you guys might want to be there to do a bit of a Q&A with anyone.
No, I want to hide when this plays.
I think I might become a Marxist Rogerist just for a while to see what it's
like.
Yeah, you should set up a talk for that, Keen, in the Socialist Workers Party.
We're converting from whatever it is, like Trotskyism or something, to Marxism, Rogerism.
Yeah.
That'll be our face. It is Marxism, right? Yeah.
Well,
By
it's Marxist logic.
Okay, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks to our guest, Joe. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Jelly Dick Joe. And thank you, White Dick Willie.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show. Thanks, Patrick, for co-hosting. And thank you for listening. We'll be back in September. It's a brand new season of the
Do you guys have any advice for freshers?
All right, advice for freshers.
Yeah, right. Okay, so...
like actual proper advice? Or like fake
join the
advice?
society, guys.
Show appropriate advice, you know?
Show appropriate advice.
So advice that's appropriate for the content of your show.
Okay. Well, what?
Don't choose philosophy.
Yeah, pretty much. We've been spending the entire time just talking about how terrible people who study philosophy are.
Philosophy culture.
Yeah. So if you're doing philosophy, you might. I don't think you have
Hey
time
guys,
to change it.
if you're a first year, you should probably do the new philosophy through film module. You'll probably get to see Fight Club.
Oh yeah. Fight the best philosophical film of our age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Funnily enough, that's like a Fight Club is a big.
That's a big red pill thing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, and of course the Matrix is, that's a big one. That's where the red pill comes from.
Well, yeah, but I feel like
the film made by two transgender directors.
I feel like it's more that they just liked the Matrix rather than the Matrix is inspirational for their philosophy. Like the Fight Club has actually inspired their worldview on women and jazz.
I can see that.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
That's the Tyler Durden thing, the whole hating the feminization of men and all that. Yeah, very.
Yeah, because and it does go back to this idea of primitivism and men's inherent right to sex and that sort of stuff.
And men being cooked and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's why if you
because Edward Norton is cooked at the start and he becomes he decooks himself.
Yeah, he decooks himself through fighting other men.
Exactly.
So advice.
Shit. We just gave the advice. Don't take fucking philosophy, or take philosophy the film if you're going to take any. You're going to get fined for that already.
Don't get addicted to meatball marinaras.
That's Joe's one. Yeah. Joe likes his own meatball.
You're pretty much kidding yourself if you get anything besides Foster's in the student bar. It's not worth it.
You get what in the student bar?
Foster's.
What's Foster's? I never got that.
It's the cheapest
Foster's.
beer.
We drank Foster's at the DCU.
Australian
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
It's DCU and we drank a lot.
There was a while where you could get a double Bushmills for €4.
Actually, there's in the Higgins off license just up the road. Yeah. They usually have nice high alcohol percentage.
And it's a really nice place
on
as well.
Sale. There's often same in most O'Brien's. Go to the back, the cupboard area where they store all the weird craft local beers. It's usually there's some on
stuff like that.
There's usually some stuff on sale and it's nice tasting, and it's I got for the fight last night, I got 8 cans of 6.5% grapefruit pale ale.
Joe's always filled with tips like that.
Yeah.
I always hear tips from Joe.
He's a tip-filled man.
He's a tippy man.
You could do an hour of tips for this.
Yeah, that's
actually, Muji was good if
it fills
you're
you
tired.
Yeah,
after going on it. I was asleep at 7:30 a.m. last night, and I woke up at 1:42 p.m. because my friend's dog licked me. And when I walked up to UCD, I got myself a chocolate Muju because it helps because it's got all the stuff you need.
Yeah, and I'm very pro chocolate Muju.
Yeah,
I drink a lot of that.
Strawberry Muju is good too.
I don't agree with that.
I like strawberry.
A lot of people like this. I'm against strawberry as a chocolate, as a milk. It's a milk thing or as a chocolate.
No,
thing.
Have you ever had a chipper milkshake? Strawberry chipper milkshake.
What? Strawberry milkshake's just nice.
Willem
Very
good. A batter burger and a strawberry chipper milkshake.
Great for the old heart. All right.
Guess our fucking degenerates.
Guess we should end the show then.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in September. Bye.
Bye.